So Ubisoft has finally announced the River Raids DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is going to be releasing on February 16th, which is tomorrow. Now, the official Assassin's Creed Twitter page gave us some information on how big the update is going to be and a lot of stuff on what are the new things that they've added in this update, what kind of content are we going to get in this DLC, which we will of course go through in this video. Before we do that, let me just put a small warning, because there is a lot of boring stuff in this patch update, which of course I will not be going through, because I'm just going to leave those for some of the nerdy YouTubers who love to extend their videos 10 minutes longer. This is just a juice for them to get the ad revenues. All right, so now let's get started into what are the content we're going to be getting. Now, first of all, Ubisoft has given us the patch size on all the different platforms. Now, the first one being Xbox Series X or S, which will be about 19.5 gigabytes of an update, and the update is currently available, so if you guys want to download it right away, you can make sure to go ahead and do that. Now, on the Xbox One, it's 15 gigs, not too big. On the PlayStation 5, it's 11 gigs, which is surprisingly really small. I don't know why. Maybe I wonder if there's some kind of exclusivity content going on for Xbox. Now, on the PlayStation 4, it is 10 gigabytes, and on the PC, it is 18 gigabytes. Now, the DLC will go live on all the platforms tomorrow at 1 p.m. CET. There's also different time zones available here. So now, what are the content we're going to be getting in this first massive DLC expansion? Now, here Ubisoft says that we're going to be getting a Yule season called River Raids game mode, where you will now have to prepare your Joms Viking crew for the new highly replayable mode that will take you to unexplorable regions in England, which means there are basically new maps added into the game, which currently does not exist, and it's going to be fun to explore those stuff, of course, which is full of raiding opportunities. New loots are going to be available, new rewards, and challenges awaits the Raven clan, which means that daily challenges for the River Raids are also going to be available at the same time. Now, the River Raids mode is part of the Yule Festival content, so it is of course going to be free for all Assassin's Creed Valhalla owners, and it is going to be accessible in-game after you download the 1.1.2 update, which will once again go live only tomorrow at the specific given time zones over here. So there's not much to get confused on, but still I know that there are going to be a lot of people in the comments basically asking, Blackguards, when is the update going live? So that's your answer right there. Now, the interesting stuff, and something I absolutely did not expect, is that Ubisoft is adding new abilities to your characters. Now, the first one being the Berserker Trap, which I honestly think is not something that's very interesting. Now, this one basically adds in some kind of a hallucinating powder into your arrows, pretty much the same that we've already seen in Assassin's Creed games. Now, the next one is very interesting, which is the Battle Cry, in which Eivor lets out a blood-curdling scream like a woman, gaining strength and causing nearby enemies to scramble backwards in fear. So Eivor basically screams like a woman, and all the enemies around you are going to be scared. So that seems like a really fun ability to be unlocking. So this is something I'm going to be rolling all the way throughout the end of this DLC content. Now, the next one is of course Shoulder Bash, where Eivor will perform a shoulder bash that pushes back enemies and destroys objects, which is also a really cool new ability. Now, we also have new skills, where the first one is of course the Assassin Carry. Now, I don't know about this skill because this kind of feels really stupid, because this one actually enables you to automatically carry a body after a successful assassination. I mean, who wants to freaking carry a body after you assassinate it? Like, it doesn't make sense at all. Now, the next one is of course Assassin Slide, where you just basically slide and knock your enemies off. And then the next one is Power Stroke, where trigger a speed boost on the longship, which is basically like ramping other boats. I also believe that we're most probably going to be getting a Naval Combat right now. Now, previously Ubisoft said that there's not going to be any sort of naval combat available in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but looking at some of these new skills that they've just given us, where you can basically just boost your ship and ramp into things. I don't know how many things we're going to be ramping into other than just ramping into other boats. So I probably believe that there's going to be some sort of at least very small degree of naval combat available in the game. Now, the next one is of course Arrow Looters, where Eivor automatically loots the arrows. And the other one is Fight Ready, which kind of puts your adrenaline to 100% every time you start a fight. And then the next one is Longship Brace. When you're in a command of a longship, the crew will raise their shield with you, which means that, for example, if you're going on a raids or like an also said if this game is most probably going to be getting a naval combat, you can now also choose to give command for your crew members in order to brace as well as attack those enemies. So I think that is going to be a really cool feature if there is a naval combat available in the game, of course. Now they've also added a lot of new improvements in the game, a lot of miscellaneous stuff. I'm not going to go through all these boring stuff because they're basically boring, except this one right here where they've said that improved vibration feedback during fishing. So if you guys are playing on the PlayStation 5, you're probably going to be getting some really good vibration using the haptic feedbacks, where Ubisoft says that fishing is now going to go brrr. Now, there's also a lot of balancing your inventory, a lot of new fixes, boring stuff, which I'm going to leave it to other Assassin's Creed YouTubers who love to make their videos 10 minutes long. Now, let's move on to the next one, the interesting one, which is, of course, graphics, dude. So it seems like they're now going to make the various graphics or lighting issues completely solved. So finally, we will now get to see some good lighting in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because lighting was something I was really pissed about in terms of visuals in this game. And now, finally, Ubisoft realizes that, and they're now making that perfect. Now, they've also made sure that the textures of the game is also going to be improved. So I wonder how that's going to happen. And another thing that they've also mentioned is that they're going to solve some various clipping issues. So most of you guys were complaining that your cloak was clipping with your character and your weapons and shields and stuff. Most probably, or at least I hope, they've kind of fixed those things. And this is kind of something that really annoyed me in terms of like taking that immersion away. And I'm just so thankful that Ubisoft has finally decided to fix this. And now they're also giving us more world events and side activities and a lot of stuff that you can basically do in this game, which I'm not really going to go through because there's a lot of stuff in here and it's just too much nerdy stuff, dude. So if you guys want to take a read over this, then I'll just leave a link down below in the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and check this out. And now, if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that covers all the Assassin's Creed content as well as all the open world games, upcoming games and all that stuff, then make sure to go ahead and smack that red subscribe button and turn on that bell notification and set that notifications to all, because as you probably know, YouTube is pretty much broke, and if you don't do that notification thing, then they're not going to be showing you my videos. And if you don't do that, then you're basically going to be missing out on all the videos I upload every day. And also, another good perk about this channel is that I always try to keep my videos short. I don't try to drag my videos out to 10 minutes long to get that juicy ad revenue. So if you guys could just support me in keeping my videos short, that would be really appreciated. And also make sure to go ahead, smack a like if you did enjoy or found this video useful. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.